Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Leo look ikoaje? Based on the comments from the previous video, I'm sure you guys are in agreement that Leo look imeweza, ama? Now let us get back to serious business. President Uhuru Kenyatta and his elder brother Raila Odinga yesterday held a meeting, night meeting, at Statehouse in Nairobi. That night meeting lasted close to 2 good hours. Raila Odinga was summoned from Mombasa and he flew in straight to Statehouse. And we also know that the same yesterday, the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto also flew out to Uganda, where he launched some vaccine plant, production plant, with President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. I've actually done a comprehensive analysis of William Ruto's trip to Uganda. You can check it. So the meeting between Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta is significant politically speaking. So in this video today, I want us to go into that meeting and try to dissect the possible objectives of that meeting. But before we do that, if you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And again, if you are also not watching it for the first time, you've always been getting notification, please click subscribe button if you've not yet subscribed already, and then don't forget to click the notification button. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support. I really appreciate it. Now, let us get back to the main matter. President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday held a meeting with Raila Odinga. That meeting is significant because after that meeting, the president went to the slums and launched 5 hospitals. Those 5 hospitals alone are creating direct employment to close to 3,000 Kenyans in the slums. And they're also opening up slums and making access to healthcare available to them. So that trip by the president to the slums is also significant, but probably we'll do another analysis about that, the launch at night of those clinics later on. Raila Odinga also flew in from Mombasa. What was Raila Odinga doing in Mombasa before this meeting? We all know that he was hosted by the Mvita Member of Parliament, Honorable Abdul Samad Nasser. But while in Mombasa, because nothing happens out of mere coincidence in politics, while in Mombasa, Raila Odinga was also seen with James Orengo and Otinda Molo. These 2 gentlemen are his legal advisors. So probably they went to brief him on the Building Bridges Initiative process, especially the appeal at the Court of Appeal. Then there was also Francis Atwoli. Francis Atwoli is a key player in President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga's politics. And remember, at some point, Francis Atwoli was seen taking a photo with the Malindi Member of Parliament, Honorable Aisha Jumwa, and the Msambweni Member of Parliament, Honorable Faisal Abdallah. So Raila Odinga's trip in Mombasa itself also carried some political weight. But why was President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga meeting and at night? Because they had an option of even waiting for that meeting to happen today. But they chose to meet yesterday. Why do you think that meeting was that urgent? In my considered opinion, 5 reasons. Number 1, I think President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga are actually firming up their planned tour of the larger Mount Kenya region. We all know that there are plans to start marketing Raila Odinga in the larger Mount Kenya region. The president has finally decided to take Raila Odinga to the larger Mount Kenya region. So in this meeting, I'm sure that that trip was discussed, the cons and the advantages. what they should do, and the kind of messages probably before that particular trip. That's one thing these guys discussed at this meeting. Number two is the Building Bridges Initiative appeal at the Court of Appeal. And that's why the presence of James Orengo and Otienda Molo in Mombasa is significant. And because Statehouse is a bit protected, we also don't know the kind of people President Uhuru Kenyatta met before summoning Raila Odinga to attend the meeting at Statehouse. I want to assume that the president and Raila Odinga are taking the issue of the Building Bridges Initiative process seriously. It's their baby. If it's going to fail at the Court of Appeal, then they are going to be ashamed. But how can they get out of it with their heads high? That's one thing these guys discussed. I'm certain that at Statehouse, President Uhuru Kenyatta has also been briefed by the lawyers after the presentation. Orengo and Otienda Molo also flew straight to Mombasa and briefed Raila Odinga. So after the separate briefing, I'm certain these guys met, because James Orengo and Otienda Molo are Raila Odinga's personal legal advisors. Uhuru Kenyatta has his, so they must have discussed the Building Bridges Initiative appeal during this meeting. Something is convincing me that probably their lawyers might have advised them about the chance of success, whether it's possible they are going to succeed, and if they're going to succeed, their next course of action. And if they're not going to succeed, probably they also agreed on how they are going to move forward. Number three is this matter of ODM and Jubilee coalition. Personally, I did a video on this platform, and in that video, I explained why I strongly believe that ODM and Jubilee merger, if they were to merge, is not the best for both Raila Odinga and for President Uhuru Kenyatta. If they are going for a coalition, then it's okay. That coalition agreement between ODM and Jubilee is significant. I don't want to pretend, but I want to make a prediction. President Uhuru Kenyatta is working on a new cabinet. These cabinet changes are likely to be effected soon. Raila Odinga and his team Raila Odinga's team are likely to be incorporated into the new cabinet, because the president is now going to focus his attention on his legacy project. In the current cabinet, there are certain individuals whose allegiance is to the deputy president. So they'll have to go. The president will have to bring new members. And because of the handshake, he will have to bring some members from ODM party. That can only happen if there is a coalition agreement between those two parties. The truth of the matter is that because of that lack of coalition agreement, Raila Odinga and his team are also scared of the legal implication. So let us wait and see. But I'm looking at a situation where President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga are going to form a government of national unity through this coalition agreement. So probably the president invited Raila Odinga to a meeting so that they could firm up some of the issues about that coalition agreement. Number four is probably the emerging developments in the One Kenya Alliance movement. President Uhuru Kenyatta is keen on uniting the NASA. NASA co-principals, some of them are not keen with working with Raila Odinga again. So what next for President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga if, for example, Kalonzo Musyoka is going to pull south, Musalia Mudavadi is going to pull north, and also there are information that William Ruto is already sending fillers to Moses Wetangula. So the president and Raila Odinga in this meeting actually discussed the issue of NASA coalition, how they can be incorporated, and if they are not going to be part of this arrangement, what next? Probably they came up with solutions. And if they came up with a solution that they're likely to start moving without these partners, then signals, we will start receiving signals. And that's why I'll start following the statement being issued by Hassan Joho, by Wycliffe Oparanya, even by Fred Matiang'i there, and also the development in the larger Mount Kenya region. And lastly, this meeting also discussed President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy projects. The president, after this meeting, went straight to the slums and launched 5 hospitals. It was at night. According to the president, he did that at night because of COVID. He feared that if he went during the day, people would have just watched them, or people would have attended the event. And of course, there was no way he was going to control, so he chose night, according to him. Then he also claimed that he chose night because most hospitals normally operate between 6 and 8. So he didn't want to disrupt the normal operation. But we've been in this country before. We've seen the president going to some of these, launching some of these projects in hospitals during the day. So the mere fact that the president went and launched this project at night confirms one thing, that there is an urgency. The president needs some of these projects to be completed. And before I forget, Nairobi politics might have also been discussed, because the president was accompanied during this tour by Major General Badi, the Director General of the Nairobi Metropolitan Services. I'm certain that Nairobi politics was discussed. The courts recently ruled that Kananu Mwenda was actually sworn in or vetted legally, which means ideally Kananu Mwenda should be taking over as the governor for Nairobi. But there's an appeal. And because of that appeal, I tend to think that the president went to seek for the opinion of Raila Odinga on how they can move the process forward. The president is so keen on the Nairobi Metropolitan Services. He's so keen in the Nairobi County politics. So this latest development about Kananu, the Court of Appeal, probably the president presented them to Raila Odinga. I don't know what you think, but let me hear your opinion on this matter. And again, please, if there's anything you would want me to analyze, let me know. And I've also been reading comments of people who feel that we need to start broadening the scope of this analysis. So I'm thinking of 2 things, and I'll seek your opinion on this. The first thing I'm thinking of is to start even going international, so that we can analyze the politics around the continent. Like if there's something in Uganda, there's something in Rwanda, there is something in Africa, we can do it. Then the other thing I'm trying to do, to think about, is whether we can include segments, analysis of events, which are not really politics, but are affecting the lives of Kenyans. For example, on the issue of Omosh, you remember Omosh, of Taidi High, Jalash, and how he's now broke again. Things like those we can discuss. Yesterday, there was this story of this police officer who is on a, on a mission, luring men to the room, terminating them or eliminating them. You know, some of those things, I think we should also start discussing them so that we can help our society. Because I tend to think, like in that case, probably there's something wrong in the police force. There is this guy from Turkana who is supposed to qualify for Olympics. But again, certain cartels at Athletic Kenya are trying to lock him out. So if you guys agree, then we can start broadening those analyses to those areas so that we don't really just focus on politics. I'm seeking your opinion on that. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day.